Hey there, horror fans! Today I'm diving back into the chilling tale of the Whispering Walls. Get ready for Chapter 4, The Summoning. Emma's curiosity got the best of her. She spent hours with her great-uncle's journals, trying to decipher the strange rituals he had performed. The more she read, the more she felt the house calling to her, urging her to unlock its secrets. One stormy night she decided it was time to perform a ritual of her own. She gathered the necessary items, candles, herbs, and a dagger with a blade that seemed to hum with energy. As she lit the candles, their flames cast eerie, flickering shadows on the walls. She began to chant the words she had memorized from the journals. The air grew heavy and the candles flickered wildly as the temperature plummeted. Emma's voice trembled, her heart pounding in her chest. Suddenly, with a deafening crash, the candles were extinguished, plunging the room into darkness. Emma's breath came in short, panicked gasps as she fumbled for her flashlight. When she finally managed to turn it on, the beam revealed a figure standing in the center of the room. It was tall, its form shifting and indistinct like smoke and shadow. Emma could feel a malevolent presence emanating from it. The figure spoke in a low, guttural growl that sent chills down her spine. "You have summoned me, mortal. What is it that you seek?" Emma's mind raced. She had never truly believed in the supernatural, but now, faced with this entity, she couldn't deny its existence. She stammered, her voice barely above a whisper. I seek knowledge, power." The figure laughed, a sound that echoed through the room like the tolling of a funeral bell. "Knowledge and power come at a price. Are you willing to pay it?" Emma hesitated, but the allure of what the entity offered was too great. She nodded, her heart pounding. "Yes, I am!" The figure extended a hand, its fingers long and claw-like. "Then take my hand and the pact shall be sealed." Emma reached out, her hand trembling as it neared the entities. But just as their fingers were about to touch, a voice rang out, sharp and commanding. "Stop!" Emma turned, her flashlight beam revealing a woman standing in the doorway. She was older, with streaks of gray in her hair, but her eyes were sharp and piercing. It was her grandmother. "Emma, don't!" her grandmother shouted, her voice filled with urgency. "You don't know what you're doing." Emma hesitated, her hand still outstretched. The entity growled, its form shifting and writhing in anger. "Do not interfere, mortal. The pact must be sealed." Her grandmother stepped forward, her eyes locked on Emma's. "Emma, listen to me. Your great-uncle was a fool. He thought he could control the forces he summoned, but he was wrong. This entity is not here to grant you power, it's here to consume you." Emma's mind raced, torn between the promise of power and the fear of what her grandmother was saying. The entity's voice grew more insistent, its form looming larger in the darkness. "Choose, mortal. The pact must be sealed." Her grandmother reached into her pocket and pulled out a small, intricately carved amulet. "This will protect you, but you must break the circle. Now!" Emma's instincts took over. She grabbed the amulet and threw it to the ground, shattering the circle of candles. The entity let out a deafening roar, its form collapsing in on itself as it was pulled back into the void. The room was plunged into silence, the only sound the rapid beating of Emma's heart. Her grandmother rushed to her side, pulling her into a tight embrace. "You're safe now, Emma. But we need to leave this place. The house is alive, and it feeds on the darkness within us." Emma and her grandmother hurried through the house, the walls seeming to close in around them as they made their way to the front door. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, and Emma could feel the house's malevolent presence pressing down on her. As they reached the foyer, the front door slammed shut with a deafening crash. Emma's grandmother turned to her, her eyes filled with determination. "We need to break the bond. The house is tied to our bloodline, but we can sever the connection." She handed Emma a dagger, its blade etched with the same symbols that adorned the walls of the ritual room. "Cut your hand and draw the symbol on the door. It will weaken the house's hold." Emma hesitated, but the urgency in her grandmother's voice spurred her into action. She sliced her palm, wincing at the pain, and pressed her hand to the door. The blood sizzled as it made contact, the symbols glowing with an eerie light. The house let out a final anguished wail as the door burst open, revealing the stormy night outside. They ran, the rain soaking them to the bone as they fled into the forest. Behind them, Blackthorn Manor let out a final deafening roar before collapsing in on itself, the ground swallowing it whole. Emma stood at the edge of the forest, staring at the spot where the manor had once stood. The storm had passed, leaving the night still and silent. Her grandmother placed a hand on her shoulder, her voice soft but firm. "It's over, Emma, the house is gone, and with it the darkness that plagued our family." Emma nodded, but she couldn't shake the feeling that something had changed within her. The house may have been destroyed, but the memories of what she had seen, and what she had almost done, would stay with her forever. As they turned to leave, Emma thought she heard a faint whisper on the wind, a voice that seemed to come from deep within the earth. The pact is not broken, it is only delayed. She shook her head, trying to dispel the thought, but as they walked away she couldn't help but feel that the darkness of Blackthorn Manor had not been completely vanquished, and that it would one day return to claim what it was owed. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, sometimes curiosity can lead you down paths best left unexplored. Catch you in the next chapter.